Hello, my name is Mackenzie Dunn. I go to the University of Northern Iowa, and today we are going to talk about the whole book approach. You may be thinking, what is the whole book approach? It is when you read picture books with children as opposed to reading to them. Children will actively participate, and it invites them to react to the whole book, like the art, designs, and textual elements. You are not just looking at the text of the book, but also the images as well. There are 6 elements of the whole book approach. They include trim size and orientation, jackets and covers, end papers, front matter, typography, and page design. We are going to be looking at 2 different picture books today, and I will provide examples of how to use the whole book approach, so don't worry if you don't know what those 6 elements mean. You will after this video. The 2 picture books we are looking at today is Just Ask, Be Different, Be Brave, Be You, and The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. This is the first picture book we're going to look at. It's called Just Ask, Be Different, Be Brave, Be You. It is about different abilities kids have. The author writes about children with all sorts of challenges and looks at the special powers those kids have as well. As the kids work together to build a community garden, asking questions of each other along the way, this book encourages readers to do the same. When we come across someone who is different from us, but we're not sure why, all we have to do is just ask. This book's author is Sonia Sotomayor. Illustrator is Rafael Lopez. Its publisher is Philomel Books, and it was published in 2019. This picture book received the Schneider Family Book Award for Young Children in 2020. This award is given to an author or illustrator for a book that embodies an artistic expression of the disability experience for child and adolescent audiences. This is the second picture book we're going to look at. It's called The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. It is about a bear who accidentally is transported into the city. As he searches for food, he finds happiness after discovering a delicious sandwich. The story is left to be told by the witnesses who catch him in the act. Its author and illustrator are Julia Sarcone Roche. This book is published by Random House Children's Books in 2015. The award this picture book received is the Ezra Jack Keats New Writer Honor Award. This award is given annually to an outstanding new writer and new illustrator. First, we are going to look at trim size and orientation and how they're used in the whole book approach. So trim size is the physical dimensions of the pages of a finished book. In other words, the book's size. And orientation is if a book is horizontal, which is the landscape orientation, or vertical, which is the portrait orientation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to compare and contrast the trim size and orientation of each picture book. So first, comparing. Take a second. Tell me what is similar in these 2 books. Think about how big or small the books are, and what shapes are these books? And how are they positioned on the front cover? Are they long or small? What do you think? So take just a quick second. Think about that. Okay, hopefully you took a second. So what I have noticed are both of these books have a shape of a rectangle. So these sides are bigger than this side, and these sides on the edges are bigger than this side. Also, I've noticed that they both have dimensions that are large and grand, and they are not tiny or small. They're bigger picture books. They both have orientation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the differences of each picture book and the trim size and orientation. So take a second and think about what is different in these books. Is one book larger than the other, or is one book upright and the other is sideways? What do you think? Just take a quick second. So The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, that has a landscape orientation, and it is horizontal, so it goes this way. And then Just Ask is vertical and has a portrait orientation, so vertical is this way. So that's how one way that they're different from one another. Also, the lengths and heights of the books are different. So The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, it is longer. So it's longer and goes this way than Just Ask. And then Just Ask is also taller. You can see that right here. So that's another way that they're different. Why do you think this book is so tall in a portrait format, which would be Just Ask, and then this book is so long in a landscape format. So normally if someone is going on a journey in a book and it talks about time, picture books are normally this way and are longer. And then in Just Ask, it's taller because people are vertical and go this way. And also if you're looking at buildings, they're taller, and that's why it's in a portrait landscape. So these are a couple reasons of how these books are different when it comes to trim size and orientation. Next, we're going to look at jackets and covers. Jackets, also called a book jacket or a dust jacket. This is the protective and decorative paper covering that fits over the casing of a hardcover book. So here's an example of what jackets and covers look like. So in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, what's going on in this picture? What do you see that makes you say that? So I'll give you a couple seconds to take a look at the picture. So what I notice is that the bear is physically looking at the sandwich. And what I see that makes me say that is the sandwich and then the bear, and then his eyes are pointing directly at the sandwich. What about in this book? What is going on in this picture, and what makes you say that? So what's going on in this picture is I see a little girl pushing a wheelbarrow, and she has a plant in it. And I think that she might be pushing this wheelbarrow to go plant this plant. And what makes me say that is because she's using the wheelbarrow for the plant, and it looks like she has a destination that she's going to. Look at both of these picture books. There's a picture on the front of the jacket and another on the back. Can you make connections between them? So what I've noticed is that for this book, The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, the bear is looking at the sandwich, and then in this picture, it looks like he got closer because you see the outline of the bear. And then in this picture, in the front, it shows a little girl in the plant. And then on the back cover, it looks like there's children that are following her with a shovel and some more plants. Now we're going to look at these two books' jackets and see how they are similar. So they both have authors and illustrators. So the author and illustrator, and then this book has the same author and illustrator. They both have animals on the front cover. So obviously the bear. In this book, the tiny little cricket. You might not have noticed that. And then they also use some form of reds, browns, and blacks in their pictures. So red, here's some red, some browns, and then some blacks. These are a couple reasons of how these two books are similar in their jackets. Now we are looking at the differences of the jackets and covers of both of these picture books. So, for this one, it has a human on the front page, right here. And this one does not have a human, it just has an animal of the bear. For this picture book, the title page of Just Ask is a lot bigger than The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. So this one, it takes up almost the entire page, and then this one is just a portion of it. Then lastly, this picture book might be talking about plants or how to garden. And this picture book might be talking about food or sandwiches. We just don't know. But here are some differences when it comes to the jackets and covers. Now we are looking at end papers. Those are pages that are glued to the inside of the boards of a hardcover book. So here are examples of end papers. So this is in the book, The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. So end papers often give us clues about the story that the book tells. What clues do you see here? Do you notice a lot of different sandwiches? Because I do. What about in this picture? What do you notice? That's right, all of the sandwiches from before are gone. What do you think happened? So it went from this to this. I wonder if the bear ate them all. Do you? So here are the end papers in Just Ask. So what's going on in this picture? And what do you see that makes you say that? So what I think that's going on in this picture is that there are different children that are going to help plant some type of flowers or trees. And what makes me say that is because there are different children all around, and then there are different plants and trees all throughout the end papers as well. So now we're going to look at how the end papers in these two picture books are similar. So what I noticed is that they both give us clues as to what's going to happen in the books. Just by the different children and plants, as well as the sandwiches that go and turn into no sandwiches. So they're different clues that could potentially happen. As well as they both tell some sort of a story just by the pictures. How these two picture books end papers are different is The Bear Ate Your Sandwich is dealing with sandwiches and food, while Just Ask is dealing with children that are different from one another, as well as plants. Next, we look at front matter, which is pages within a bound book that are situated before the pages of the main text, such as the frontispiece, half title page, and dedication page. The title page is the front cover, so remember when we are talking about the jacket, that is the title page. The copyright is in the front of the book. That is when you find out who owns the copyright of a specific book. You can see the publication date, copyright, printing, and ISBN information of a book. The dedication page is found at the beginning of a book, and it is where the author recognizes an influential person in their life. What is going on in the picture on the title, copyright, and dedication page, and what do you see that makes you say that? So for the two title pages, what's going on is a bear is close to a sandwich and is most likely going to eat it, and a little girl has a wheelbarrow with a plant and is most likely going to go to a different location and plant it somewhere. And what do we see that makes us think that is, again, the sandwich and the bear and how close he is to the sandwich and he's looking directly at it, as well as the little girl is pushing the wheelbarrow with the plant, and then the other children are following her with different materials, and it just looks like they're going to plant different things. Here is the dedication page from the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. It says, "To Adam, enjoy every sandwich," by Warren Zevon. So there's not a picture that really goes on this page. It's coming off of this picture, but there's nothing much to really talk about with this picture. And then here is the dedication page from Just Ask. It says, "To Peter Kagozin, you have taught me that a body ravaged by ALS neither stills your brilliant wit nor changes the specialness of who you are, nor the preciousness of what you give to others. SS." And then it says, "For Santiago, my mighty little sequoia, RL." What is going on in the picture is the little girl is looking at the rabbit and just sitting by the rabbit, and they can't really talk, but if the rabbit could, it looks like they would have a conversation in this picture. And what I see that makes me think that is she's sitting directly by the rabbit, and they're both making eye contact with one another. So how these books are similar in their front matter is they both have pictures on the front and also back of the book, which is called the jacket. They both have authors and illustrators in the book. These two picture books both have dedication pages, like we've seen before, as well as copyright pages, which they're really small and hard to kind of read as well. How the front matter is different is in the Bear Ate Your Sandwich. The dedication page was in the back of the book, so right here. And then in the book Just Ask, the dedication page was in the front of the book. Also in the book Just Ask, next to the dedication page, the author has what is called a letter to readers. And in the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, there is no letter to readers at all. One last thing of how the front matter is different is for the copyright page in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. It is on the right side of the page. And for Just Ask, here's the copyright, and it is on the left side of the page. Next, we look at typography, which is the style and appearance of printed matter on the pages. Now we are looking at typography. So this is from the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. How would you describe what the words and letters look like on this page? Did you notice that they're bold and are very big? They almost take up the whole entire page. What is the bubble around the words? Do you know? That's right. It's called a speech bubble. That is what the dog is thinking and is trying to say to the little girl. This is from the picture book Just Ask. So how does the way the words look tell us how to read the words aloud? Do you notice that Raphael and the words underneath are in the color purple? Here's purple, as well as his name. What I noticed is that the words in purple are used to answer why Raphael uses an inhaler, and then he asks a question after that. So, my inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? The words also that are in purple are bigger than the words that are in black. So you know who we're talking about, Raphael. And then also the question underneath is a lot bigger than the words that are in black. Now we're looking at how both picture books' typography is similar. So on the top, that is from the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, and the bottom is Just Ask. So they both have print on both pages, which they have sentences, as well as different letters throughout. They both have commas. So here's a comma. Here's a comma, which commas make you pause when reading a sentence. And they both have periods. So there's no run-on sentences. And periods make you stop before starting another word. So here, those are just a couple examples of how their typography is similar. So now we are looking at the difference between the two picture books in the typography. So in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, it has all black print in it. And then in Just Ask, there's black print, but as well as purple print. So that's one difference. In The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, the font of the words is much larger. So, like again, I said it almost covers the entire page. And then in Just Ask, it's a lot smaller for the font. And one last difference between the two is in Just Ask, it forms a question at the end. So, do you use a tool to help your body? And then for The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, there's no questions that the dog is saying to the little girl. So these are just a couple ways of how the typography is different for each picture book. Last, we look at page design, which in the whole book approach, we'll look at the gutter and the dynamic between the verso and recto pages. The gutter is the vertical seam between the verso and recto pages where the pages of the picture book are bound together This plays a tremendous role and helps the reader progress toward or resist the pull of the page turn, and the left page, called the verso, and the right page, called the recto, are of the same size and aspect ratio and are centered on the gutter where they are bound together at the spine. So this picture is from the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. So look at how the gutter divides up the picture. So remember, the gutter is right here. So tell me why you think the artist made the choice to have some parts on the verso page and other parts on the recto page. Give you a couple seconds. So what I think is that the illustrator couldn't get all of this on one page of how the bear gets caught by the dogs and then the dog is seeing the bear run away. So they needed the full length of the picture book to be able to get that aspect in the story. So this is from the picture book Just Ask. So look at how the artist makes sure that nothing important in the picture falls in the gutter of her book. What choices does she make to accomplish this? So there's no people that are landed straight in her gutter or the plants. It just separates. There's nothing that involves with the gutter, and she does a good job of separating the verso and recto pages. So now we're looking at how the page design is similar in the book The Bear Ate Your Sandwich and Just Ask. So they both have a gutter, which is a seam going down the middle of the book, and they both don't have anything in the gutter that's important, which the authors do an amazing job of making sure that doesn't happen. They both have a verso and recto that go together, so the verso and the recto. And the pictures in both books both cross the gutter, so crosses over for both of them. And they have double page spread, which means the pictures stretch and go on 2 pages instead of just 1. Now we are looking at how the page design is different in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich and Just Ask. So in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, the pictures appear to be a lot closer, and then in the book Just Ask, the pictures appear to be further away. In The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, there's more of a border around the book, so it cuts off and you really can't see much going up to. And then in Just Ask, there's not really a border. And then in Just Ask, there appears to be more room in the picture. Just him jumping and they're further away, it seems like. And then in The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, there's not as much room. And it seems as though the bear is going to hit the top of the picture book and come off of it when he is standing vertical like that. So those are just a couple differences when it comes to the page design in the 2 picture books that we're looking at. So here are the references for The Bear Ate Your Sandwich, as well as Just Ask, Be Different, Be Brave, Be You. And you can look at reading picture books with children, how to shake up story time and get kids talking about what they see. That has a lot of good information about the whole book approach. So what I hope you do is you take the information that you learned from this video and use it to read other picture books using the whole book approach with your children.